Oh boy, it's finally here. Hey guys, what's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. Let's just start off by saying that I cried 3 times during this movie. 3 times. I cried 3 times. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I've never teared up watching a Marvel movie. And this movie, it didn't disappoint. Not at all. And I'm gonna do a spoiler-free movie review. This is Avengers Endgame. Probably the most anticipated movie of the entire year, and it is the 23rd chapter to the first era of MCU, and it is the swan song. It is the magnum opus. It is 3 hours long, and it is a roller coaster of emotions. And it doesn't disappoint. I'm gonna warn you guys, if you haven't watched this movie, don't go through, like Twitter and Instagram. Be careful, because there are people literally filming a cinema screen and uploading it on YouTube. And this morning, I accidentally saw a couple of spoilers, and I'm pretty pissed off about that. But other than that, this movie, wow. This is hands down the best MCU movie ever. Okay, ever. I don't know if there can be another MCU movie that can top this. Now, of course, I'm not saying that this movie is perfect. There are flaws in this movie, but those flaws, I think, in my opinion, are just minor flaws that didn't mess with the overall quality of the movie at all. I'm gonna be very vague because I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the first act of the movie, even though the pace is kind of slow, it's perfect as the first act of the movie because it's just so somber, so dark, and so cataclysmic. There's one, in fact, it's kind of crazy. There are 3 acts in this movie, and I cried on each act, and man, it's such a sad first act, and it's normally what you would expect after what happened at the end of Infinity War, right? And then we have the second act, which gets interesting. A lot of things started to happen, and I don't want to spoil it, but oh, there are so many characters in the MCU universe actually made cameos, and it's pretty freaking fantastic. And it's really interesting, and it's really smart as well. And then we have the third act, which is the ultimate final act of the entire first era of MCU. All 11 years, I think, all 22 movies, all built up to this final battle, this final war, and it is epic. Everything came together. I've never seen anything this epic in an MCU movie ever. It's just everything accumulated together and exploding all at once. It gives me goosebumps, and at the end, I cried. I teared up because it just hits me so hard. I just, I just, I never thought a superhero movie would hit me this hard, since Logan, of course. And there are flaws in this movie as well. I think there are a few characters that just don't get enough screen time because, after all, the movie is 3 hours long, and the Russo brothers didn't want the movie to be even longer, so I guess they did cut out some character scenes. So, some characters just didn't get enough screen time. A couple of characters didn't show up, and, those 2 characters are just minor characters. And, it gets a little messy in the second act because they're all split up to do different things, different missions. However, I think it's way more entertaining and interesting than it is messy. And at the end, I think the third act, it's well, you can say it's predictable, right? But I think it's, even though it didn't have any huge twists and turns, it's still extremely satisfying, and it's still extremely epic. And there are moments in the movie where I was like, yes! Yes! And there are moments where I'm like, oh. And it's a roller coaster ride, man. At the end, I just feel my tears going from my eyes to my neck, and I was in total shock. And overall, I am incredibly satisfied with this movie. I love this movie, and I don't really have any major complaints about the movie other than a couple of, I guess, flaws. Also, one complaint about how the writers, Russo brothers, kind of dumbed down Thor a little bit. Well, in Russo brothers' defense, I think if Thor wasn't dumbed down, I think the movie would be really monotone and really dark. And I think that Thor's character being dumbed down is actually a pretty nice move by the Russo brothers, because it gave the movie a bit of comedy. And that's all I'm gonna say about this movie. I love this movie. The Russo brothers are amazing, and I am saying Avengers Endgame is mind-blowing, and I'm definitely gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. So, have you watched Avengers Endgame? From 1 to 10, how much did you rate it? Like if you like it, hate if you hate it, and subscribe if you want more. I love you 3000.